Hi, welcome to KilKare Speedway. I'm Nick Pennington. I'd like to thank you for buying. Use me. Microphone problems. I'd like to thank you for buying this Pinstroke Productions at the track videotape. My special thanks to our friends at Eagle Helicopters for taking my wife Kim up in the helicopter a few weeks ago and allowing her to get those fine aerial shots that open up our tapes with the date cue. Tonight the ARCA SuperCars are here, plus NASCAR Winston Racing Series stock cars. So we're going to have them out here in just a moment. Features only tonight for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series. First feature of the night will be the figure eights. And the figure eights coming out for their feature right now. They're going to line up this way. Row number 1, car number 4, that's Jason Shaver. Outside him, the 98 of Gary Seitz. And in row number 2, car number 28 is Danny Suffren, and outside of him, the number 1 of Jeremy Everding. Row number 3, 00, Matt McCarty, and the 5 of Neil McClellan. And out back all by himself, car number 24, Sean Miller. And the green flag flies, and the 98 of Gary Seitz almost spinning out. Jason Shaver with the advantage. Seitz falls back to second. Jeremy Everding running third. A little bit of contact between the Jason Shaver and Gary Seitz machines. I believe they got hooked up for a couple of seconds there. I believe they were actually tangled together. Now Gary Seitz your leader. Jason Shaver back to second. Jeremy Everding falls back to the 4th position as Danny Suffren gets around for 3rd. Now Everding battling back for that 3rd position. Jeremy Everding now runs 3rd in the 1 car. And a piece of debris, part of somebody's bumper or something there. Another piece of debris laying on the track. Go figure that. Imagine that. 98 Gary Seitz, your leader. Neil McClellan calling it a day, going down the, actually the entrance ramp over there in turn 3. Gary Seitz still your leader. Jason Shaver in a heavy battle for second with Jeremy Everding and Danny Suffren. And contact between the 4 and the 1 car. Gary Seitz still your leader. white flag, 1 lap to go for Gary Seitz, your leader. And your winner will be car number 98, Gary Seitz. Jason Shaver will come home second. Jeremy Everding third. Danny Suffren fourth. And rounding out your top 5, Matt McCarty. And not a moment too soon for the Gary Seitz machine as you see the steam coming up out of the car. Gary Seitz with a problem in the 98 machine, the winner of the race. And Gary Seitz getting a little help to victory lane from Jeremy Everding. Everding giving him a push, keeping him down in the grass so that the radiator fluid coming out of the car doesn't get on the track. So little sportsmanship being shown by Jeremy Everding in the number 1 car. And feature number 2 of the night is going to be the mini stocks. They're going to line up this way. Inside row number 1 is the 17 of Frank Harvey, former champion in the mini stock series. Car number 10, Brian Brewer outside of him. Row 2, Jeff Wickman. Inside 60, Jerry Moore outside. Row 3, Ron Wells in the 6 pickup truck and the 33 pickup truck of Greg Stapleton. And in row number 4, car number 87, Tim Stratman, and outside of him, the 24 of Rick Bates. A false start. We'll get them re-racked and get a restart here in just a moment. And they surprised me with that one. Green flag did just fly. We are racing. Frank Harvey, your leader. Second, a battle. Jeff Wickman, Ron Wells, Brian Brewer, and Jerry Moore. Now, Jeff Wickman takes it over. Ron Wells third. Wickman loose in turn 2. Ron Wells gets underneath. Greg Stapleton running second. Ron Wells third. I forgot about Greg Stapleton up here. Sorry, Greg. Greg Stapleton, truck number 33, running second. Ron Wells is in third. Frank Harvey, your leader. Frank Harvey having all his own way. He is your leader down the backstretch. Good battle shaping up for second between the Greg Stapleton and Ron Wells machines. White flag, 1 lap to go. Second place vehicles encounter the slow Tim Stratman machine. Your winner is going to be the 17 of Frank Harvey. Coming home second, it's going to be 33 Greg Stapleton, 6 Ron Wells, third. Fourth will go to Jerry Moore, and rounding out your top 5, Jeff Wickman in the 19. Once again, your winner, car number 17, Frank Harvey. Modifieds pulling up for their feature, and my microphone sounds like I need to clear my throat there. Anyways, Modifieds pulling up for their feature. Row number 1, inside Jim Johnson, outside the 76 of Frank Harris. Row number 2 is car number 17, Ed Lawrence, outside of him the 42 of Jim Lewis Jr. Row number 3, car number 31, Don Fleming Jr., and the 25 of Gary Smith. Inside row number 4 is the 88 of Dan Williams, outside of him the 11 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. Row number 5, car number 28, Ralph Herod, and the 3 of Jerry Stapleton. Row number 6, 82, Terry Flora, and the 72 of Mike Boreski. Row number 7 is the Randy Hinkle machine inside, car number 5, and outside of him the 24 of Jeremy Neiswanger. Comes out, we are racing. Jim Johnson jumps out that early lead caution, comes right back out, false start. Okay, now we are seeing the white flag once again. Had a couple of little quickie almost starts. Guys unsure whether they were on the white flag or the green flag. This time we get the white flag. As we see the Eagle helicopter landing in the background, offering free helicopter rides when you come out there. So check into that, how you might be able to get a free helicopter ride. Eagle helicopter. Smoke coming from the 17 of Ed Lawrence. Lawrence with a problem. Heavy smoke coming from that car. And now more pronounced as he goes into turns 1 and 2. Ed Lawrence with a problem. Black flag for the 17 machine. And black flag comes out. The front stretch stand, and Lawrence, big problems, major problems on the 17 machine. Tough break, good starting position, all going for naught for the 17 machine as he takes it back to the pit area. Your leader is the 0 Jim Johnson, running second is the 76 of Frank Harris. Third is the 31 of Don Fleming Jr. Fourth, Jim Lewis Jr. And the 5th place car is Dick Dunleavy Jr. So Frank Harris working on the 0 of Jim Johnson. Slips a little bit in turn 4. Dunleavy takes a look underneath. Can't quite get the job done. And Randy Hinkle slow over in turn 1 in the 5 machine. Leader still the 0, Jim Johnson. 6, Frank Harris running second. Third is still Jim Lewis Jr. Don Fleming Jr. running third. Fourth is now Dick Dunleavy Jr. getting around the 42 of Jim Lewis Jr. Dunleavy on the move as he is now in that 4th position and challenging for 3rd. Looks to the inside. Through turns 1 and 2, can't quite get the job done. Your leader still Jim Johnson in the 0 machine as he is dogged by the 76 of Frank Harris. Dunleavy, once again, a look inside Don Fleming Jr. And Don Fleming not going to give it up easily, that's for sure, as Dunleavy and Don Fleming Jr. battle side by side at times for that 2nd position, or 3rd position, excuse me. Frank Harris continues to work on your leader, the 0 of Jim Johnson. And now Dunleavy looking to the inside, Don Fleming Jr. They're side by side. Fleming Jr. sideways. He comes out with the 3rd position still. Dunleavy still running 4th, but Don Fleming Jr. all the way sideways through turn 3. Dunleavy backed out of it, gave him the room, and we continue to race. Now Dunleavy, making better of it, just whips around to the high side and takes over that 3rd position. Johnson still your leader. 76 of Frank Harris running 2nd. Dick Dunleavy Jr. in 3rd. We got one going through the infield. That's the 3 of Jerry Stapleton. Green. He's out of harm's way, so we stay green. Now Dunleavy has moved right up on the back bumper of the 76 of Frank Harris. Your 2nd place car. They're side by side for 2nd. Coming out of turn 4, white flag. Jim Johnson still your leader, but Frank Harris challenging on the outside. Dunleavy and Harris touch in turn 3. Coming out of turn 4, your winner is Jim Johnson, coming home 2nd. Frank Harris, Dick Dunleavy 3rd, Don Fleming Jr. 4th, and rounding out your top 5, Terry Flora in the 82 machine. So once again, your winner, car number 0, Jim Johnson. All right, now it's time for the KilKare late models. Laps. And you hear Dick Roberts, 30 racing laps for the late models tonight. Row number 1, inside the 2 of Dave Brandenburg. Outside of him, the 33 of Carl Stapleton. Row number 2, car number 28 is Mark Stump, and the 7 of John Farrell. Row number 3, car number 75, Gary Estes, and the number 1 of Mike Carroll. 72 is the Jerry Stapleton machine. You'll find him inside row number 4. Car number 29, Tony Brunke, and the outside of him are inside the row number 5 is the 17 of Sam Heckman, and outside of him is the 01 of Gene Crace. Goodness sakes. Row number 6, car number 53, Russ Bobb, and the 43 of Will Spurgeon. Row number 7, car number 34, Dave Ellis, and the 16 of Rob Jacks. And in row number 8, car number 70, Joe Hill. good one. Dave Brandenburg, your leader. Carl Stapleton runs second. Third, a battle between, let's see, now taking over third is the 28 Mark Stump. As Gary Escustis and John Farrell battle for that fourth position right on Stump's back bumper. And Will Spurgeon into the front stretch concrete. Caution comes out. With a spin over in turn 3. Brandenburg, your leader. Carl Stapleton holding on to second. Third, a battle between the Mark Stump and Gary Estes machines. And now Estes looks to the inside, and we got a problem. 43, Will Spurgeon coming back out on the track. Actually, not a problem, just coming back out on the track. As that was going on, Gary Estes got around the 28 of Mark Stump. Estes now runs third in the 75 machine. Mike Carroll goes to work on Mark Stump now for the fourth position. Watch those battles. Mike Carroll now getting around the 28 of Mark Stump. Dave Brandenburg still your leader. On the 17 of Sam Heckman, Gene Grace right there on the inside. As we go back to Dave Brandenburg, your leader. Estes, Mike Carroll, and Mark Stump, your top five at the moment. Now and can counter some lap traffic. 16 of Rob Jackson, 42 Will Spurgeon. 3 wide going into turn 3. everybody makes it through. I don't know how. Now Russ Bob will be the next to go a lap down in the 53 machine. Looking to the outside of John Farrell. This for about 6th position, so Joe Hill moving up through the pack in the 70 machine. Dave Brandenburg, your leader. Traffic once again. Dave Ellis now goes a lap down to the 2 of Dave Brandenburg. As we have lead lap cars and lap cars mixed together all the way around the track. Now Gary Estes and Mike Carroll battling for that 3rd position. Back around to Dave Brandenburg. And got one spun over in turn 2. That's Rob Jacks in the 16 machine. On the restart, Dave Brandenburg, Carl Stapleton, Mike Carroll, Jerry Stapleton, Mark Stump. Don't know what happened to Gary Estes. He pulled off the track, and somewhere in that, during that pit, or during that caution flag, Joe Hill went to the pits. Didn't see when he left either. Your leader's Dave Brandenburg, and we got one with a problem coming out high. That's the 28 Mark Stump. He'll go to the pit area himself, so have several cars leaving the track. Stump running up there in the top 10, top 5. So a tough break for Mark Stump. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 2, Dave Brandenburg. Will be car number 2, Dave Brandenburg. Carl Stapleton will come home 2nd. 3rd will go to Mike Carroll. Jerry Stapleton comes home 4th. And rounding up to the top 5 is the 17 of Sam Heckman. Once again, your winner, car number 2, Dave Brandenburg. And our next feature is the KilKare NASCAR Winston Racing Series Pro Stocks. They're going to line up this way. Row number 1 is the number 32. That's Jerry Johns Jr. Outside of him, the number 20, Ellis Lorenz Jr. Row number 2, car number 81, Brian Wilson, and the 98 of Chris Stump. Row number 3, 52, Mike Miller, and the number 1 of Jerry Johns Sr. Row number 4, car number 11, Ryan Dunleavy, and the 78 of Virgil Powell. And we're going to have to go back and get those. Hold on just a second here. We'll go back and get them. There they go. Row number 5, car number 774, L.G. Jones, and the 58 of Gary Norton. Row number 6, car number 12, John Maloney, and the 97 of Jeff Wilson. And no surprise, back there in row number 7, car number 3, Daryl Norman, we saw him earlier.
First up, 722.
Jerry Johns Jr. with the lead. Battle for second. Between Ellis Lorenz Jr. and the 98 of Chris Dump. It's 81 of Brian Wilson. Sideways was in fourth position. Now gets sideways. Mike Miller gets underneath. He runs fourth. Wilson back to the fifth spot. Now challenging for the lead. 98 Chris Stump outside. Jerry Johns Jr. inside. Johns Jr. letting the car slip a little wide out of turn 4. 98 Chris Stump maintains that fender-to-fender position side by side all the way around the track for the lead. 98 Chris Stump, 32 Jerry Johns Jr. For the lead, Jerry Johns Jr. inside, Chris Stump outside. That's how they've been since about 3-4 laps into this race. Ellis Lorenz Jr. third, fourth belongs to the Mike Miller machine. Fifth now Ryan Dunleavy in 11. Stump drops back into the single file line, drops down into second. Takes a look to the inside coming out of 4 that time. Maybe that's the idea. Give it a little try on the inside. Dunleavy looking to the inside of Mike Miller as he moves up to that outside lane to challenge Ellis Lorenz Jr. for the third position. Chris Stump looks to the outside once again at Jerry Johns Jr. Chris Stump running second, Mike Miller third. Fourth belongs to the Ellis Lorenz Jr. and Ryan Dunleavy in fifth. Now Miller slips sideways coming out turn 4. He falls back into the clutch as Velosaurus Jr., who's right there in the 20 machine. Mike Miller's car getting extremely loose. And Chris Stump looks to the inside of Jerry Jones Jr. down the front stretch. Mike Miller still holding on to that left. Oh, and an engine pop. Or something let go on the Jerry Johns Jr. machine, the leader, car number 32. He slowed down the front stretch. And your leader is now the 98 of Chris Stump. Mike Miller spins over in 4. He had been getting loose for a couple of laps. Caution out. Somewhere in that we got the white and the checker, I believe, because right there is your winner, car number 98, Chris Stump. What a finish. And now it's time for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Pure Stocks. Last of the NASCAR Winston Racing Series races here tonight. Next up will be the ARCA SuperCar 150. But for this race, they're going to line up this way. Row number 1, car number 24, Sean Miller, and the 93 of Wayne Seals. Row number 2, Danny Suffren and Jeremy Everding. Row number 3, car number 77, Larry Gard, and the 29 of Bob Huffman. Row number 4, car number 3, Brian Roush, and the 6 of Craig Conover. Row number 5, 78, Ken Burnett, and the 98 of Gary Seitz. Row number 6, 53, Tim Dill, and the 00 of Matt McCarty. And out back in row number 7, car number 5, Neil McClellan. One spinning right away over in turn 2. I believe that was the 5 of Neil McClellan, I think. But the green flag stays out. No, that was the 77 of Larry Gard. Let's see what happened there. Larry Gard is one of the front runners there. For the problem, Jeremy Everding and Wayne Seals getting together. Everding slowed down the front stretch. As if he might have a tire going down. Jeremy Everding, car number 1, out of this one. Sean Miller, your leader. Danny Suffren right on his back bumper. Then Wayne Seals, Bob Huffman, and Brian Roush. Brian Roush slowed down the front stretch and goes to the pits. And I see the black flag flying for someone. Not quite sure who that is, but I do see the black flag. Sean Miller, your leader. Danny Suffren running second, Wayne Seals runs in third. And Neil McClellan losing a motor, and cars with nowhere to go and can't stop. Oil on the racetrack. Larry Gard gets stopped in time before he hits the wall. Here comes Matt McCarty. Oh my gosh. was still a pretty hard hit, but it could have been a lot worse as Matt McCarty did get slowed down just a little bit. Okay, this one's going to take a few minutes to clean up, and I'd like to take this time to remind you that at the track, not only videotapes here at KilKare Speedway, but at Columbus Motor Speedway. Following the NASCAR Winston Racing Series, Penn Stroke Productions at the track racing videos. Just give us a call or see us at the track. And the cleanup is continuing. Over there in turn 4, we see the 78 Ken Burnett involved. Tim Dilge, Matt McCarty, and Wayne Seals. On the restart, it will be Sean Miller, Danny Suffren, Bob Huffman, Gary Seitz, Tim Dilge, Craig Conover, Larry Gard, that's the Brian Rush machine that made it back out, and Jeremy Everdeen. Green comes back out, and we're racing once again, about 4 laps to go. Tim Dilge was smoke coming from him, but I think that's like tire smoke from the fender rubbing. He's getting the black flag anyways. Taking no chances. Sean Miller, your leader. Bob Huffman working that outside groove. Danny Suffren right there in the 3rd position. Miller still your leader. Huffman slips back just a little bit now. Danny Suffren still running 3rd. 4th belongs to the 98 of Gary Seitz. Coming back out on the track. Sean Miller, your leader. Battle for 2nd between Danny Suffren and Bob Huffman. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 24, Sean Miller. Winner will be car number 24, Sean Miller. Danny Suffren comes home 2nd. 3rd will go to Bob Huffman. 4th, Gary Seitz. And rounding out your top 5, car number 6, Craig Conover. Once again, your winner, car number 24, Sean Miller. And now we are ready for the ARCA Mondo Marhide SuperCar Series 150 lap main event. Inside row number 1, tonight's fast qualifier, car number 46 from Jeffersonville, Indiana, Frank Kimmel. Outside row number 1, car number 9, from Bloomington, Illinois, Eric Smith. In row number 2, car number 81 from nearby Columbus, Ohio, Robbie Pyle. Outside him, car number 51, Centralia, Illinois, Joe Cooksey. Row 3, car number 52, Sturgis, Kentucky, Bill Baird. Car number 19, that's Calvin Counselor. Calvin hails from Naples, Florida. Inside row number 4, car number 40, Andy Belmont from Pendle, Pennsylvania. And from Seymour, Indiana, in the Mount Olives Chevrolet, car number 56, that's Dill Whittemore. Row number 5, inside, Mooresville, North Carolina's Bob Schacht. Outside of him, car number 59, Winder, Georgia, Mark Gibson. Row number 6, car number 21, from Mount Clemens, Michigan, is Tracy Leslie. Outside of him, from Shelby Township, Michigan, car number 12, Roger Blackstock. Inside row number 7, car number 39, Mooresville, North Carolina, once again the home of Bobby Dotter. Outside of him, car number 83, from Lansing, Michigan, Jeff Finley. Row number 8, inside, car number 85, Muncie, Indiana's Wes Russell. Outside of him, from Mason, Ohio, car number 98, Dave Renner. Inside row number 9, car number 5, Lebanon, Pennsylvania calls home, or Bobby Gerhardt calls Lebanon, Pennsylvania home. And outside of him, the 23, from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, Ron Cox. Inside row number 10, car number 28, Arbor, Michigan's Mike Buckley. Outside row number 10, car number 32, from nearby Brookville, Ohio, Randy Van Sant. Inside row number 11, car number 0, from Seymour, Indiana, Rich Hampton. And from Normal, Illinois, car number 10, Kurt Piercy. Inside row number 12, car number 73, from nearby Grove City, Ohio, George Glick. And outside of him, from right over there in Columbus, car number 30, that's Greg Sark. In row number 13, inside, car number 84, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Norm Benning. Outside of him, from Mesquite, Texas, Chuck Weber. And in row number 14, riding shotgun on the field, Inman, South Carolina, is where he hails from, and that's car number 48, James Hilton. In a moment, the command to start the engines, and the ARCA Bondo Marhide Series 150 will be underway.
With the ARCA Bondo Marhide SuperCars Series, the KilKare 150, 150 laps of action. Running stock car sanctioning body.
And you see the crews are setting up a pit road on the 5th mile track in the infield here at KilKare Speedway. That's a place you hope not to go during the 150 lap race tonight, as caution laps will count, and there's no way if you go to the pits that you're going to come out on the lead lap. You're going to go at least one lap down. So the crews continue to set up pit road, so it'll be just a few more moments. And as driver introductions are wrapping up, I'd like to take this opportunity once again to remind you that not only does Pennstroke Productions videotape here at KilKare Speedway, but at Columbus Motor Speedway. Pennstroke Productions at the track race videos following the NASCAR Winston Racing Series.
Currently 8th in the series points. Waiting on the go. And we're still waiting. Oh, so patiently. I know, it's time to get busy. I know.
Yeah.
Department of Bondo Marhide. Lisa, tell me all about it.
Driver, start her engine!
White flag's already been waved. We should get a green flag next time by the stripe. 150 laps for the ARCA Supercars here at KilKare Speedway. Kurt Piercy in the 10 machine with a problem. Stopping right at the entrance to pit road. So we may not get a green flag this time by. Caution, I believe, is still waving, as a wrecker has to come out on the track. White flag comes out this time. We should get green flag next time by the stripe. 150 laps for the ARCA Supercars. First 2 laps are yours to listen to and enjoy. Your pole setter, car number 46, your leader, Eric Smith, running second. As Bill Whittemore in the 59, Mark Gibson trades some paint out there. And Mark Gibson also battling out there. Frank Kimmel still your leader. In the 10 machine coming back out on the track, but he is slow once again. I'm going to assume that he is having ignition problems in that number 10 machine, and he is slow once again. I don't think he's going to make it back around to the mid area. He's right at the entrance to the pit road, and I believe that's where he's going to stop. Keep an eye on, see if we can get the fire, see if he can get the fire and get that car going, and he does not. Caution comes out for the number 10 of Kurt Piercy. flagman in the infield with the red flag. That means the pit road is closed until the pace car catches up with the field. The crew looks on anxiously, unable to do anything at this point. Number 98, Dave Renner, one of the local boys with a problem. He's in the pits. Right as the white flag comes out, we should get a green flag next time by the stripe. And we are racing once again. Green flag flies. Back out on the track. He's at least one, if not 2 laps down. Frank Kimmel still your leader. Second belongs to Eric Smith. Third now is Robbie Pyle in the 81 machine. Bob Shack taking off with somebody's nose piece, and it goes flying down the backstretch. That will cause another caution flag. And we have debris on the racetrack picked up by the zero machine of Rich Hampton. Now knocked up by the wall. Down in the back straightaway. Caution will be coming out for that, I'm sure. Restart, it will be Frank Kimmel, Eric Smith, Robbie Pyle, and the 52 of Bill Baird. And Frank Kimmel's machine did not sound good that time. As Bill Yost camera's position in turn 3, green flag comes out, and you see the problem with your leader as you see the pops coming out, the fire coming out the headers. Problem with your leader, car number 46, Frank Kimmel. And now Kimmel slows. Eric Smith on the inside. Robbie Pyle pushed to the outside. Bill Baird gets underneath. Eric Smith, your leader. Bill Baird now runs second. Pyle side by side with Kimmel. Now Pyle will get around Kimmel. Kimmel with a problem. And Frank Kimmel, I believe he's trapped on the outside. I think he wants to get into the pits, but he is trapped on the outside. And we got a car off the track down the back stretch. Didn't see who that was, one of the white cars. It was the 30 machine of Greg Sark. And the 73 now having a problem. Now Bill Baird looks to the inside of Eric Smith. This is for the lead. Bill Baird, car number 52, takes over the lead. 9 of Eric Smith now back to second, but Robbie Pyle right there in the 81 machine. As the 73 car is still slow down the track, down on the front stretch. Your leader is car number 52, Bill Baird. Second now is Robbie Pyle in the 81. Eric Smith back to third. caution comes out, undoubtedly for several reasons, one of which would be track conditions. And also this car right here sitting down in turn 1, that is the 73 machine of George Glick. And Frank Kimmel is stalled on the backstretch in the 46 machine as the cars go past. Frank Kimmel cannot find the fire in that car. And he is stalled out on the backstretch at the mercy of the tow vehicles. Tough break for the leader of this race, car number 46, Frank Kimmel, as he is getting the escort back to the pit area to push. The car will not fire. And Frank Kimmel maybe needs some assistance. And now taking that slow trip down pit road, Frank Kimmel pulls into his pit stall. Immediately they go underneath the hood and see if they can find out what's wrong with the Alien 46 machine. We see Kurt Piercy another time in the 10 machine. Of George Glick gets some assistance off the track also. A little bit of cleanup going on, and we should be back to racing here pretty soon. White flag, we should be going green next time by the stripe. Your new leader is the 52 of Bill Baer. Robbie Pyle runs second. Then it's Aaron Smith in the 9. And then the 51. Don't tell me I know who that is. Just get my cheat sheet. The 51 is Joe Cooksey. Of course it is. Green flag comes back out. Good look at your leader, car number 52, Bill Baer. We got another one slowed down the front stretch. Kurt Piercy with problems once again in the 10 machine. Mark Gibson showing up in there, right in the 4th position, 59 machine. Mark Gibson is the last man down. So it'd be the 51 of Joe Cooksey that's running fourth. As your leader is still the 52 of Bill Baer. again down the front stretch. He's off in the infield, so no caution. Leaders encounter lap traffic now. Robbie Pyle pulling right up on the back bumper of Bill Baird. Norm Benning will be the next to go a lap down. I need to get Dave Renner finding the fire and getting restarted. Rejoins the race. A couple of laps down. Bill Baird now to the side of Norm Benning. Benning will go a lap down. Robbie Pyle right there, as is Eric Smith and the 59 of Mark Gibson, who is also laps down. Joe Brooksy still holding on to that fourth position. Cars mixed in with the lap traffic, and quite close quarters out here on the third-mile oval that is KilKare Speedway. Actually, third of a mile altered V-shape, mean little track that is KilKare Speedway. Bill Baird, your leader, car number 52. Shot of your second and third place cars. Robbie Pyle and Eric Smith. And there's Bill Baird right in front of them. We got some cars getting together over in turn one. A lot of smoke. And Bill Baird into the back of a lap car. I believe Robbie Pyle will come out with the lead. Bill Baird, heavy front end contact on the 52 machine. And he spins over in turn four. Everybody scrambles to get around. Leader up to just a few laps ago. And here comes the 81 of Robbie Pyle. He'll soon put a lap on him, but Bill Baird will have to go to the pits, and he does so right now. Car number 52, Bill Baird. Heavy front end damage on the 52 machine. Robbie Pyle, your leader. Looking to put a lap on the Bob Shack machine. As work continues on the 52, Bill Baird. lap traffic was outside of the 10 of Kurt Piercy. Eric Smith gets caught up behind the lap cars a little bit, gives Robbie Pyle a little bit of breathing room, but 4 lap cars ahead. Pyle, your leader, a little bit of contact with the 32, Randy Van Zandt, has heavy lap traffic once again. Randy Van Zandt and the 39 car is next. Pyle working traffic. With a little bit of breathing room between him and the second place car, Eric Smith. But right now there's clear traffic between clear track between the two cars as Robbie Pyle comes up on another lap car. The 85 machine will be the next to go a lap down. Wes Russell, car number 85. Pyle, your leader. Pyle getting a little loose through turn 2. You saw him switch a little bit. Those tires are starting to get worn now. We're getting well into this race. And now we'll see if anybody towards the end of this race has anything for that 81 machine. Oh, and we got one spinning down the front stretch. All I see is white smoke. That is the 20 machine was spin into the infield. No caution as of yet. Andy Belmont. Oh, and he gets turned around. And everybody makes it by okay, and we stay green. Robbie Pyle, your leader. Number 81. Eric Smith still running second. And the 19 of Calvin Counselor sideways all the way through turn 4. He gathered it back in and kept going. Leaders encounter heavy lap traffic. Robbie Pyle right behind the 19 of Calvin Counselor. Big car slow on the outside. Oh, 3 wide going into turn 1. Calvin Counselor shutting the door, slamming the door on Robbie Pyle, your leader. Pyle thinks better of it. Eric Smith right on his back bumper. Counselor moves around the Kurt Piercy machine. Still leading the Robbie Pyle. Car number 81. Counselor is loose. And he is I think he is a lap down or 2. I'm not sure. Might have to check that. No, he is not. He is fighting to stay on the lead lap. That's the reason that man's fighting so hard. Car number 19, Calvin Counselor, is still on the lead lap, and he's fighting to stay there. And Robbie Pyle now has backed out of it for a little bit. Let the tires cool down just a little bit before going at the 19 of Calvin Counselor again. Counselor is your 7th place car, so Pyle lapping into the top 10 now. Counselor in the 7th place car now goes the lap down. Robbie Pyle, your leader. Eric Smith will get underneath in the 9 machine. He was second. And we got one spun down into the snake pit on the back stretch. That's the 24 machine of Chuck Weber. Caution comes out for the 24 of Chuck Weber. And it looks like somebody's header pipes, or tailpipes, or whatever you call those, exhaust pipes. Our lane over in between turn 3 and turn 4. Restart, Robbie Pyle and Eric Smith. Roger Blackstock, I think, is in your 3rd place. Pyle and Eric Smith making a breakaway as Eric Smith stays right on the back bumper of your leader, car number 81, Robbie Pyle, sideways down the back stretch. Car number 52, your early race leader, comes back out on the track. Back up in battle with the leaders. Of course, he's several laps down, but he's going to try to get one of these laps back here as he goes around the Eric Smith machine, and he'll set his sights on Robbie Pyle. Been kind of watching Frank Kimmel since he's come back out of the pit after that early problem, and he definitely is the fastest, one of the fastest, if not the fastest car out there on the track right now. Robbie Pyle gets underneath the pin of Kurt Piercy one more time. Frank Kimmel right there. Like I said before, he is laps down. Gibson in the 59. He has slowed down the backstretch. Several cars trapped behind him on the inside. A lot of hard on the brakes. One of those is Bill Baird. He don't need to get any more problems. The 39 also trapped behind the 59 of Mark Gibson, who goes to the pits with a problem. So does the 39 machine. Pyle, your leader in the 81. Has this one going all his own way. Once again, though, a lot of traffic. Gotta be careful, especially now as tires are reaching the end of their performance. And the track has got to be slick out there. The tires have got to be slippery. Just going through the lap traffic. Robbie Pyle, car number 81, your leader. Pulls right up off the back bumper of Robbie Pyle through the lap traffic. Pyle rides the high side around Norm Denny. Eric Smith right on his back bumper. Around the lap traffic. Robbie Pyle just over away. Pyle driver be too corny to you? Maybe. That's what it sure seems like as Robbie Pyle decimating this race in the 81 machine. Pyle in around the 10 of Kurt Piercy. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 81, Robbie Pyle. Down the backstretch, one last time, through turn 3, turn 4. And your winner, car number 81, Robbie Pyle. First time feature win in the ARCA SuperCars. Coming home second will be Eric Smith. Third will go to Roger Blackstock in the 12. The 56 of Bill Whittemore comes home fourth. 83, Jeff Finley's next. Then Joe Cooksey in the 51. The 19 of Calvin Counselor. 85 of Wes Russell. And the 32 of Randy Van Zant. In the 9th position and rounding out your top 10, Ron Cox in car number 23. Once again, your winner, car number 81, Robbie Pyle. Once again, I'd like to thank you for buying this Penstroke Productions At the Track videotape. Please keep in mind that not only do we videotape here at KilKare Speedway, but at Columbus Motor Speedway, following the NASCAR Western Racing Series. For my wife Kim and my partner Bill Yo, I'm Nate Pennington, and we'll see you back here next week at the track.